Hi, you guys. So I just wanted to come on and finally touch on. I know I've hinted that I wanted to talk about Paul and Tina going, giving their side of their stories about what happened between them, right? Um, I feel like we really didn't see that much play out between them anyway. I think Tina started to make it kind of clear that she wasn't really feeling the process very early on, right? And he kind of says that as well. Paul says that that is what she was saying that she didn't want to be there, and she didn't think that she had a match with anyone. So I guess that's why he kind of moved on. But of course, her story is a little different. I was trying to upload her live, but for whatever reason, I couldn't get it up. I have a small piece of what she was trying to say, so I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to come back and then I'll play some of what Paul had to say as well.
It is past my bedtime. I'm over here just talking to y'all so I can get this off my chest. Because after Monday, I want to move past this. I don't want to talk about this shit no more. I don't want to be going back and forth with my castmates. Like, I'm putting it out there. It is what it is. And then I'm moving past this shit. All right. So, anyway, production drives me from the hotel to the getaway. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Lord have mercy. I'm ready to get this over with. So anyway, so production has me, they drive me to back to the getaway. So of course, by this time, I'm still waiting to go on set. I think I was there for maybe like an hour. They finally have me walk in. Everybody looked like they've seen a ghost. Literally. Nobody speaks to me. Like, everybody's looking like, why is she here? Which I'm pretty sure they were like that because I don't even at this point know I was there. And I was so pissed because I could have been back at home. Like, that's real shit. And it's crazy because now to see how everything went down in the actual episode when I watch it back, it's like you really would think I ghosted it. But when I got there, I pulled Donovan to the side and I had a whole talk with Donovan. And I was like, I think this isn't going to work for me. I'm not really feeling the guys like this. But they kind of edit the audio out where it didn't really show me talking or showing me tell my side of the story. So sadly, I do tell people editing is real. I will be honest, I don't think they edit me like bad, but I just feel like they didn't allow me to control my narrative, which that was what I tried to do when I went in the getaway. Like, I tried to go in there and be very intentional and like let Donovan know like this isn't for me. And it was so much going on. One, it was drama going on, but I didn't think that it pertained to me at the time. I didn't know my name was getting caught up in stuff because I wasn't there for the drama. Like, I wasn't gossiping with the ladies. I wasn't gossiping to the guys. Like, even when it came to the guys that I was dating, I wasn't going telling the guys each what I said. Like, my dates when I had them was with who I had them. And I was hurt, y'all. Like, I really was to hear, fast forward, the only person, as soon as I left, no, let me not miss a very important part. As like I said, I quit. One based off drama, one based off my issues with production, with filming. But in the last week that I quit, so me and Paul had not talked in almost. He stopped talking to me after the ex date because he was mad that Demetrius was there. So let me go back. This is before the getaway. He stopped talking to me. So at this point, it's been like almost a week. I quit the show at the getaway. I didn't talk to anybody afterward. I was just kind of done, disengaged with every fucking body. Paul reaches out to me the last week out of nowhere. And it's just like, hey, yeah, production's going to edit you bad, for quitting. But, I want to save you. Da, 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 da. And I was just like, no, I'm good. I'm not coming back. Well, you should tell, I'm not going to say the director's name, but you should tell them that you want to come back and, that you want to pick me and, we can make it to the end. And I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need to be saved because I just really, I didn't trust Paul because like I said, I found out that he wasn't on the show from Love when he accidentally exposed himself. But two, I just didn't have a need to come back because again, at this point, it wasn't based off love. It was based off who can make it to the end. And that's not what I was there for. But I was very hurt to know, fast forward to hear a lot of the gossip and the rumors that came about because these people knew that I was very vulnerable back then. Of course, for me to just quit a show like that, um, I left very hurt and very broken. And anybody that knows, like, people will say, well, this, you signed up for a reality show. Like, don't get me wrong, I didn't sign up for Love and Hip Hop. Love and Hip Hop, I would have expected this type of stuff, expecting, the fighting, the cattiness, the rumors, the lies, because they need that type of drama. They thrive off that type of drama. I didn't sign up for that for Ready to Love. Like, I really thought like this was a representation of, black humanity and black love and, entrepreneurship, like, beautiful women, sexy men, like, and that's really what I thought that I was embracing and signing up for. And so fast forward now, even today, to hear the things that Paul said about me, knowing that it's a lie, I'm very heartbroken and I'm very hurt. I will say this, I respect my elders and I'm not trying to be shady. If I hurt Paul's feelings by calling him grandpa last week, I take full accountability and I say I apologize for, saying that, because Paul hasn't said anything that I had heard up until this point. So me throwing that dig out might have hurt his feelings. But for him to go to the point of one saying things that is not true or speaking upon, I asked one thing of him when we left the reunion: keep my name out of his mouth. Because up to that point I had heard that he had been lying and saying other things. And I was just like, me and him both know the truth. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I called him out at the reunion. Like, I didn't call him out to embarrass him or anything. I called him out because it was the truth. And I feel like Paul was full of shit. Like, you weren't here for love. You weren't. And he literally tried to gaslight me at the reunion and make it seem like, even now he's still trying to make it seem like I'm lying instead of taking accountability and being like, yo, I take accountability for what you said. But now you tried to bully and troll me all week, literally make me look like a liar, like say that you talked to my daughter. Paul, you never talked to my daughter. Never. Like, I wasn't even going to speak on it. But what I'm not going to allow is somebody to sit here and lie. Like, the only person, let me tell you something, because
So yeah, and her, like I said, the live is kind of lengthy because not only she talk about her experience on the show, but also with Paul and Demetrius and I think Tori, because Paul started kind of putting it out there that it's possible something may have went on between Tina and Tori. Now, according to her, it wasn't the way Paul is saying it. Um, so yeah, she in the live she talks about that, and that is over on her Instagram page. I don't know if you guys have watched it or not, um, but I just thought the fact that she was trying to clear up some of the stuff that he was kind of putting out here, because he's trying to make it sound like the whole thing about her child came up from Clifton. I think he said Clifton is the one who started the conversation in the men's meeting, and then he said that Demetrius said, "Well, I talked to her too," and then they just all started going around the room saying they talked to her daughter, as in to say that she introduces her daughter to anyone. I guess that's what they're trying to say, or he's trying to make it look away, right? Like she's not concerned about these things, which is not okay for people to play with stuff like that on TV. That's just my opinion. Um, some of these people look way too grown to act so childish. I'm just gonna go ahead and want to put that out there. I'm sorry. And so anyway, then Paul, he goes on all these. He started creating all these videos trying to explain his side of things. Because you guys remember on the reunion, she said that he asked her to leave the show because he was going to self-eliminate. Because remember, everybody kept voting for him to kind of be at the bottom, right? Even though he wasn't eliminated, he was at the bottom, I think, twice in the very beginning. Um, and so maybe he started feeling away and started thinking like maybe I'll leave. I don't know, But she's saying by the time she got there, he was asking her to leave with him. I don't know how true that is. That's what she was pretty much saying, though. However, it do kind of sound and feel as if they're both kind of just taking shots at each other by saying ridiculous stuff. That's kind of what I think as well. Um, Speaking of, I'm gonna let you listen to a little bit of what he was saying in one of these things that he put together about her. Now, if you guys want to watch his entire videos, you can go over to his page. I'm not going to play all of it because he put up so many videos. I mean, he was going in, not going necessarily in like in a bad or negative way, but I mean, he was just putting up so many videos about her and statements. And I'm sure if you guys, his Instagram is 100 sightings. If you want to go to his Instagram page, and hers is Tina Beauty. I guess that's how it was pronounced. Tina Beauty Show. Um, anyway, I'm gonna let you guys listen to a little bit of what he had to say. And he started kind of accusing her. Like I said, I don't really feel the way Demetrius was trying to make Precious look like she is on something, or saying like she's reckless or whatever. And he kind of is doing the same thing to Tina in the other video. I'm not sure if he's going to do it so much in this one, but there's two videos where he's kind of saying her behavior was, she was slurring words, and her behavior was a certain way. And I don't know. We didn't see that, right? The audience didn't see that. So for him to put something out there like that is kind of unnecessary. But I guess he's upset because she called him grandpa. She called him grandpa. And then she, of course, said that he wanted her to leave, to self eliminate with him when she first got there. But I'm going to let you guys listen to what he was saying.
Just want to rap to y'all real quick, talk to y'all about this incident that's been kind of cruising around, between Tina and I. And let's just, take the lid off of the thing and let the genie out the bottle all the way. I believe in transparency, so let's get right to it. Okay, so first off, I think that, Tina and I had, we had a small connection. It did start to harvest a little bit at one point, but I think at the very, very beginning, we all started out at, what was that? We was at a club. I think it was a group date, Tori, myself, and Laverne, along with Ace and Dakiya. And so during that date, I think Tina made mention that she wanted to explore a dating opportunity with Donovan and Tori. And Tori and I, we were both present at that time. And we both said, yeah, it is what it is. We're in the process, so nobody really cared. And then, she, on her own will, mentioned that, I already heard about Demetrius, what she said, production don't even need to worry about setting me up with a date with him. And I'm like, well, damn, you ain't even giving him a chance. She's like, no, I already know. I've met people just like him. I got an ex that's just like him. And I'm like, okay. I mean, if you off top, that. Okay. And I mean, if you go back to, I think the first date, she did mention that she had all of these predetermined things against him. Whatever. So moving forward, I think there was a period of time where Precious got eliminated. And, I was just having casual conversation with her. And I was speaking about with, Precious was like, yeah, I just wanted you to know before it even got back to you that Tori and I shared a kiss. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, I just didn't want you to be blindsided by that. And, and I was having a casual, like, just off the cuff conversation with her. And I was like, Precious did something that I respected. She didn't have to, but she did. And that was the fact that she, just told me, out of nowhere, just so you're not blindsided, I just want you to know that Tori and I kissed. I said, she didn't have to do that. She didn't have to, but she did. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Forward. She calls Tori. Tina calls Tori and says, Tori, oh, so you kissed Precious? Oh, you ain't gonna tell me? You wasn't gonna tell me that? And this and that. And Tori's like, damn, like, what the fuck? And so Tori, didn't like the fact that Christina came after him with regards to that kissing situation. I don't think Tori wanted to really even do that at the time. I think he did, there was a whole thing about, how it was awkward, and, he was asked by production to, to do the kiss, whatever. So after she ended up weaponizing that kiss, kind of using that as ammo to dig at Tori, I'm like, yo, like, what the, like, what I mean? You don't even know the guy, like, and how are you checking him like that? You know what I'm saying? He's not even your dude. So that was like a red flag to me. And I remembered her, constantly reiterating the thing about Demetrius and how, he reminded her of, her ex, who was a narcissist, and, just stuff like that. Turns out there's an ex date that comes up. And I'm sitting there and I go in, keep in mind, I already had this sort of energy. It was like this red flag, like, what? Like, you playing these games? Okay, whatever. Demetrius shows up and I'm like, wait, what? You just sat here and told me the other day that he was the devil, he reminded you of ex or her ex and all this other stuff. And I'm like, I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, why is he here? Like, it didn't make sense. Red flag number 2. And so then, in that date, I sit there and I talked to her ex, BJ, and BJ is like, yeah, because I asked a question in particular, which was, how does she deal with anger? And I'm like, does she throw flower pots? Like, what the hell's going on with that? He goes, yeah, and said what he said. And so when I left out of there, I was like, okay, red flag number 3. So it was really checkout time, like all the way checkout time. We get to the lounge, and I brought it to the forefront. I was like, look, when Tommy asked me how was my connection with Tina, and I was like, yeah, I don't know if I'm feeling this all the way. And he's like, well, what's going on? I thought y'all was cool. And I was like, yeah, but, well, she used some information that, we had in the conversation, it was a private conversation, used that to weaponize Tori, and then turns around and says, Demetrius is Lucifer and whatnot, but he shows up on the date. So I was like, what, like, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? What was this all about? And then Demetrius was, having a conversation with Tommy, talking about, yeah, me and Christina, we was connecting on all these levels, and you know what I'm saying? I talked to the baby, and Clifton had, had jumped in there and was like, wait a minute, I talked to the baby too. And I think Eric was in there at the time, and Eric was like, I talked to the baby. And Tommy was like, okay, wait a minute, hold up. And he went back and he was like, okay, so Demetrius, you talked to the baby. He's like, yeah. He's like, Clifton? He's like, yeah. Tori like, yeah. He's like, Paul. I'm like, I never talked to that baby. And that was like the red flag of them all, because I felt like, a person, well, for me anyway, I raised daughters. And so I feel like a person that would, pass the phone around to like all these different grown men to talk to your 2-year-old child, like that was just not cool for me. That was like all the way checkout mode. So there was some things that had occurred throughout the season. Like when you see me, especially at that like getaway, because I think that was the last episode building up to the getaway. But when I'm at the getaway, I had zero rap. Why? You heard what I said. I'm all for the fake shit, and I don't do fake shit. So I was all the way checked out. There was no where's Tina, and she's my connection, and I'm like broken. No, like I came in there, checked out, and you can ask any of the cast, where was I at in my stance with her before the getaway? Because when we got there, I was over it, like over it. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But that is my transparency. That is the reason why you see all of this beef and all of this extraness coming from that side, because, yeah, I blew up your spot. I did. But you came in with that fake shit, and I didn't think that we deserved that. So if you're going to say that you ghosted the process because you got exposed, but I think you've been ghosted. But that's it. That is what it is. Holler.
Why pose off?
And so he was not done. He put up another video. And like I said, that's when in that video, I guess it's that one where he's kind of like questioning her, if she's coherent or if she's on. So, so there he's like really going in. So he clearly was really upset over her calling him grandpa and, saying that he asked her to leave. And I mean, I don't know if it's true or not. We did not see any of this stuff play out, right? So we don't know what's true and what's not. Then he went on to post that he pulled out out of an interview with Cristal because he said that he prefers to connect with the people who watch the show than to um, have someone ask him a series of questions. Now, you're live. You do understand? I'm sure he understands that Crystal has a comment section, and so she's not just asking him things that she wants to know. She's asking things that the fans of the show want to know, because we're all going to be saying them in the comments. So, and she's a good interviewer. So I don't really know what that's about. I know he seems to have some type of relationship with Carmisha, who's also a YouTuber, and she kind of covers reality shows, I guess. Yeah, I think she talks about other shows besides Ready to Love. Um, so I don't know. I guess because of that relationship, maybe that's why he pulled it out of the interview. It didn't make any sense to me. Like, I think that I really think maybe he just didn't want Crystal to ask him about certain things. Um, that he may not want to answer, because he's saying that people should question Tina's timeline, but people should question his timeline as well. Because remember, Paul allegedly also had connections with Carmen and with Dakiya, and it was somebody else. I feel like it was somebody else that I'm leaving out. And Precious. So, what happened to all of that? Like, how did you have all this time to spend with Tina? And, I don't know. Why would you have all that time to have all this conversation about Tina when then you were trying to make connections with all these other people as well, right? I know at some point Precious left, but I think Precious left. Did she leave before Tina got there? I can't really remember right now. But let me let you guys listen to what he had to say about the interview.
Greetings. So I just wanted to take the time out to address some of the questions that I received in the DMs. This is with regards to why no Cristal XO interview. So the reason why I didn't do the interview with Cristal XO and didn't move forward is because I didn't think it would be a great opportunity for the fans to interact with me, to ask questions directly without anything being edited, and just give it to you raw, like how you guys saw me on the show. So that was one of the things that kind of made me a little bit of trepidatious with regards to editing and things of that nature. I had a story that I wanted to tell you guys, and I wanted that story to get out to you guys straightforward, without any interruptions or any editing or anything like that. So, because I didn't do the interview with Cristal XO, I do want you guys to feel that my DMs is open, for any questions that you have. I'll answer those, and I'll either do a video, or you can catch me on one of my lives and ask them to me directly, and I will address any questions that you may have about the show. Again, you fans of the show are the folks that really, helped me get through my journey, and you supported my journey. So I want to be able to respectfully return that back to you and say, hey, because you guys supported me, I also support the questions and thoughts that you have after the show. So that being said, my DMs are always open. Ask me whatever questions you want, and I'll address them on the next live. Or if you catch me out there on the Instagram streets, you know where to find me. 100 sightings. Connect with me there, and we'll go and have dialogue. No disrespect to Cristal XO. I think she's a great interviewer. I actually was excited to do an interview with her. Unfortunately, we weren't able to make that happen. And guess what? If the network changes the terms and allows us to have an interactive interview where the fans can, reach out and ask questions, I would be more than happy to do that interview with Cristal XO. But until then, guys, catch me at 100 sightings on IG. You already know it's going to be a delivery every time. Love, peace, and everything else. Stay safe.
So yeah, he's trying to show off his production production skills, because that's one of the things that he's saying in one of those videos, that he's not sure why she was trying to say he's trying to put a book out when that's not his thing. He is a music person. So if she was going to accuse him of trying to promote anything, it would be music or producing or something like that. So I don't know. I guess that's why he made all these videos, about her, and putting all these little clips and stuff in there. So Paul is a producer. For all those who need to know, let me know what you guys think about the whole Paul and Tina thing. Do you believe? Yeah, because like I said, some of his timeline, it seems off as well. He's saying that if people really think about it, her timeline is off. She wasn't really there like that. Um, I don't know. I feel like there's probably some truth to both of their stories, and there's probably some stuff that's not true. I haven't heard Tori say anything about Tina or Demetrius. And she also says in that live, and the live is like an hour long, but she says that she was going to connect with anyone on that show, it was going to be Demetrius. So she doesn't know where Paul is coming from with all this stuff. Um, but she was also saying that they don't have any control over who they go out with. And then Dakiya also said the same thing in her interview with Cristal XO, which was recently, I believe it was Friday or Saturday, when she interviewed with her. I think I just watched it, however, but yeah, it was a very good interview. Dakiya's interview, and that's what I wanted to touch on as well, because she of course, Cristal asked her about Joy, the whole Joy situation. And she was saying kind of what I was saying too in my video, that Joy did not see everything that happened between her and Clifton as far as their dates. And yes, the producers they decide on who is going to go out with who. So if they knew that he had this strong connection with Joy, why are they sending him out on dates with Dakiya? Um, and then, of course, like everyone keeps saying, everybody knows that this is a TV show, and so certain things they just have to do, right? Like that you're playing. This a process that you have to date certain people, even if you're not interested in them. You still have to have one or two people, and of course, I guess half of that is that you have to have someone speaking up for you, so people don't want to vote you out. So obviously, Clifton was trying to stay on the right side of Dakiya, for a lack of a better way of putting that right now. So that's probably why he was maybe making her feel like there was a possibility, when the truth of the matter is maybe there really wasn't. But and that's why she asked him, whatever you decide to do, let me know, right? And that's why she was asking for the courtesy. Now, why he didn't speak up and really tell the truth about that, like she's saying in that interview, we don't know. And obviously he just didn't want to upset Joy, so he just kind of is going to go along with whatever Joy is saying. But that she's saying that that's not how that played out. So she was not delusional about what she thought was going on between her and Clifton. And I'm not saying that he felt some kind of way about Dakiya. I'm just saying he led her to believe certain things. However, um, and I think that that is true, because he could have done like Cornelius last season and just didn't, just refused to kind of get to know anybody else, right? I don't know if, I mean, if I don't think Cornelius was really doing that on solely on his own. I think that Camille had something to do with it, but at the same time, he still could have done the same thing if it was just that serious. Um, she should understand that she was on a dating show, and I think in her interview, she kind of just, well, I kind of played what she had to say in that video. So you guys already know what she kind of said about it. But, like, like the kid said, it's just certain things that she was not seeing, right? And she wasn't there, so she don't know how Clifton was really responding to Dakiya. The only way you can know that is if you was there. And obviously he's not going to tell Joy, right? So I do agree with Dakiya on that. And she just said that it just wasn't worth it for her to kind of go back, to get into any type of arguments with Joy. And I agree, it just wasn't that serious. So yeah, her interview is really good. That's over at Cristal XO's page. If you guys want to watch it, I think the interview is probably like a little over an hour. It's a little over, but it's, because she asks her about the Eric situation as well. And she kind of explained that, and regretting semi handling it the way that she handled it. Um, but she maintains her story that there's just no way that he could have thought that she wanted him to reach out and touch her. And I think that Eric is just trying to save face with that. That's just my opinion. And that's what you get over here. My opinion. Um, Let me know what you guys think about all of this in the comments. Who do you think is telling the truth between Paul and Tina? Or do you think the truth is probably somewhere in the middle? Or do you think they're just both like blowing hot air, right? Because I kind of get that feeling as well, because they're upset with each other. So they're just both putting a lot of stuff on the other. Um, Tina maintains she would not introduce her child to someone she just met. So, like she said, maybe the daughter came into the room while she was live with one of them, but it wasn't like oh, let me introduce you, everybody that's on cast, to my daughter, right? Um, and even if she was in that way, that's different. But the way they're making it, the way Paul is making it sound, is a little more sinister. And I don't like that, to be honest. I don't think people should play with stuff like that. That's just my opinion. Um, but of course, you could tell that he is upset at some of the stuff that she was saying. I don't really think it's a big deal, though. However, her saying that he asked her to leave because maybe he felt like he was going to get eliminated. And, she was saying that she was unhappy with the producers or whoever. and saying that she couldn't get her work done. And she actually admits to that in that live. She says that she did say that she, she just didn't have the time to take care of her business, you know, and her daughter and do the show, give up the hours that you have to put in to when you're filming these shows. So she was a little uncomfortable with all of that. And she kind of admits to that. So I don't know. I don't know who's telling. I don't know. Some of the stuff that they're saying happened probably happened, and some of it I think that they both are kind of putting on it a little bit. That's just my opinion. But let me know what you guys think about this season, and are you looking forward to the Miami season, or how do you feel about the show in general? Just let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.